What's going on, guys? Welcome to the third episode of Conversations with the Politician. I am the politician. We've already covered where that came from, but welcome back. Today, I've got my good friend and new brother with me today. Introduce yourself, man. What's going on with you, man?
Stephen Horne with 360 basketball, man. Thank you for having me, man. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
man. Thank you. You've not only had us come on, but you brought us into your space. So I'm certainly appreciative for that. I thought you stole my coat for a second, but that is your coat.
It's mine, man. I seen you wear it. I liked it, so
I appreciate it, man. We're just trying to, push the culture and keep this fashion going.
Absolutely.
I see the beanie. I know what that means because my beanie is on. Look, this stuff happens in real life.
Right.
And in real life, you just can't get a haircut every day.
Right. Busy,
And so
man. We busy.
we some busy people.
Right, yeah,
And so
you gotta make it work.
you got to make it work. The beanies are making it work today.
Right. Whole vibe, man.
A whole vibe.
Right.
Man, what was your day today like? I know I'm just coming from some work. What were you on today? Like, were you training today or were you just kicking it? Like, what did today look like?
Well, absolutely. Well, man, my day actually started early, man.
Okay.
5 a.m. Started training around 6 a.m. I try to get up about 5 a.m. and get my schedule set.
For sure.
What I'm actually going to implement in my workouts.
For sure.
And also during that time to get myself mentally
Absolutely.
ready, of course, too. So after about 6 a.m., man, after I'm training, probably get done around 8, 9 o'clock, get some breakfast.
Yeah.
And after that, keep it going, man.
This is a scheduled thing for you.
Yes, it's an everyday thing. Absolutely.
And you not only played, at some of the higher levels of high school and college, but you've also played pro.
Right.
So this is something that you've just morphed from level to level and into your pro career.
Absolutely.
Talk about the foundation of that. How did basketball become something that you knew you had to do in your life? Like, how did that happen?
Man, it was I actually was a two-sport athlete, man. I played football and basketball. I got to be honest with you, in Florida, I'm from Florida. So
Okay.
really hot, man.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. So
Right.
basketball kind of came naturally for me.
Yeah.
Got a chance to play in high school. Had a really good high school career.
What position you play with football? Receiver?
Receiver. Yeah. My senior year, I didn't play. Coach was pretty upset with me. But
Everybody got a story, man.
Right, everybody has a story. But my freshman year, freshman on up, man, I was able to have really good success. So I stayed with basketball, worked at it, and I had a great high school career, and able to move forward to get a full-ride scholarship.
Yeah,
and also able to go play professional basketball, man. So I was lucky overseas.
Man, some people, they don't make that first second year cut with the overseas basketball. Mm-hmm. And then some people, they go about 2-3 years and then they really max out right there. Right. So it's usually a blessing with longevity to be able to play, your body, you give everything at the high school level, everything at the collegiate level. How many years were you able to play at the pro level?
Right about 9 years.
Wow.
Man. So, but everybody has a story, man. So
Absolutely.
I went through adversity like everybody else.
Yeah.
In high school at the time, I was highly recruited, but because at the time of my grades, I wasn't able to go straight to Division I at the time. I was recruited.
Let's park right there for a minute, and the both of us influencing some of these younger guys.
Absolutely.
How important is school in this pursuit of sports and professional achievement? How important is school?
Man, it's the number one key, really. I mean, because you can't do one without the other. You have to be eligible to play. You know what I mean? So, and not only that, like what we're doing right now after basketball, man, you have to be educated to be able to move forward. And God forbid, I mean, that basketball or any sport is a small window.
Absolutely.
So, if you can't network and get out to talk to people and know how to present yourself or whatever you're trying to present, it's going to cause a problem. You know what I mean? Now, that doesn't mean school for everybody, but education is.
Yeah, and I completely agree. that is one of the major messages we're trying to spread is the fact that, look, and not even God forbid, the fact of the matter is, no matter how long you play, one day you got to hang those shoes up. You got to hang them, and you got to hang them up for good.
Right. Yes.
And when you hang them up, you need to have something else to do. Right. So you were able to play 9 years. What countries were you able to touch, man?
I was in mostly Asia, man. I played a couple years in Europe.
Okay.
I even played in Iran, man, for a short stint.
What in the world?
Yes, man. Iran actually taught me a lesson because at the time when I was there, you know, you heard so many things about their country.
Absolutely.
And, you know, even talked to my agent, I was a little cautious about going over there.
Yeah.
But once I got there, man, and played, the people were nice. They treated me, you know, first class. So, I mean, it was a great experience.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it was a culture shock.
Yeah.
To say the least, a culture shock. But I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot. So
playing over the waters, what would you say is the biggest culture shock that you probably experienced just in general?
The biggest culture shock is, you know, I mean, it's true accountability, meaning that whether you win, so you have to win first.
Of course.
If you lose, typically it's 1 or 2 Americans, right? So if you lose, and you notice I say you lose, and what I mean by that is they pay you because you're supposed to take the most of, you know.
You are the team.
You are the team.
They'll piece everything around you.
They'll piece everything around you. So with that being said, if you're having bad games or you're not playing well, they're going to point the finger. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
we're expecting you to do more.
And they're expecting you to do more. Yeah. And the living, and you have to get along with your teammates. Yeah. Because they're locals there. You're not. You're visiting their country.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that adversity when it hits, man, you don't have too much time. If so, I mean, I've seen situations where players are literally in the game and their is on the side, like waiting, another player waiting. So it's just,
to replace them, you're playing.
Yes.
You're not enough.
Right.
You're out of here.
Right.
And your replacement is watching you.
Your replacement is watching you. Absolutely, man. That was a wake-up call to let you know it's a business. You know, that was the first wake-up call. So,
my goodness.
Oh, yeah, man. It's
now, over there, it's a little bit different than here. Over here, they'll just trade you to another team.
Correct.
But over there, they're sending you back home?
They'll send you back home.
My God, in the middle of the season.
It could be any part of the season, man. You know, depending on your contract.
Season could have started. Now, I've heard so many stories about players that haven't even made it through training camp and got sent back with nothing. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, I don't know as much as you. I haven't played for 9 years. Right. I've barely been alive for 9 years. But, you know, they'll go out there and you're like, you said you were a shooter.
Yes.
And you're not knocking down shots and send you right back before the season start. Now the window of free agency is over.
Yes.
Because by the time training camp start, like every team has what they think they need.
Yes.
So they're at home kicking it.
Man, and then you have to think resume-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, so you got to think. Also, depending on when your season started overseas, a big part of it too, you have NBA guys that get cut.
Yeah.
So NBA guys that's going to training camp don't make the team.
Right.
And now they have to go. Now they want to go overseas.
They're the first
Now
dibs.
you drop even lower.
Yeah, because we got the real guys.
The real guys.
So we got the NBA guys, the guys that did the draft workouts and all of them.
Yes.
That was the first tier.
Yes.
And then the overseas veterans, they're like second tier.
You got it. That's how it works, man.
I'm just trying to learn a little bit. We talked about this education thing.
Man, you have it. So I try to instill, you know, for me being able to play Division I basketball. Politics or pressure, depending on what team you go on as well.
Okay.
And even from high school, I think the biggest adversity, man, I try to tell my players is, in the majority of the case, high school, college. Most time high school, of course you're the man. You got a full scholarship.
Absolutely.
Right? But a lot of times when you go from college, when you go from high school to college, now you're not the best player on campus.
For sure.
Now you're talking about a whole nother side of adversity.
Yeah.
Because your whole life you've been what? You've been the guy. Yeah. So now you go on campus unless you a Zion or LeBron James, which everybody can't be there, or Kevin Garnett going forward. But if you're not the best player, now all of a sudden you're coming in as a freshman. even though you've heard everything, so many great things about you, but when you get on campus, you're like, wait, I'm not even playing. I'm only playing 8 minutes, or not playing at all. So
it now becomes less of what you can actually do, and more of what you can fight here.
Exactly. So that's where the mental aspect comes in, and a lot of people hit the wall, man. A lot of players hit the wall. So I just try to have my players ready, and for those challenges. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a great segue into, just leaving your playing career and going into what you do now. You are a trainer.
Right.
Great trainer at that.
Right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Instilling the things that you've been able to use to these younger guys of all ages.
Right.
When you say that, I believe you have to have a specialty.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, and you especially know this, is the fact that when you go over those waters, you have to label yourself.
Yes.
And when you label yourself, you have to come in and produce exactly what you said you were.
Exactly.
If you say you're a 6'5" point guard, you've got to be able to come in, get to the basket, and get other people involved.
Yes.
Efficiently. If you say you're a shooter, they're looking for a certain number of shots made every single night.
That's correct.
Am
you sure you're not an agent, man?
That's correct. I think I'm hearing the call to go there. I might be hearing the call.
No,
but
that's correct.
That is what the game is all about. Unless, like you say, you're that guy, you're that LeBron James character where it's like, this is your show.
Exactly.
Everybody, this is not your show.
No, it's not.
So when you're training these guys and you're teaching them, what is your twist on the knowledge that you're giving them? Because as a trainer, I've got to find out what you're good at.
Exactly.
I've got to highlight that. And then I've got to make sure that you can do this at a high level.
Correct.
Now, I need you to do everything.
Yes.
Because that'll keep you on the floor. But I need you to be able to do this. What is your twist on that? How do you approach that aspect of training?
Well, most of the time when somebody reach out to me to train, right, my guys that I already know, I do I meet them first. Okay. You have to gain their trust.
Wait. Run this back. Okay. I've never heard this before. Yeah. Run this back.
So for me, when they reach out to me,
right,
no matter what level you are, I'm blessed, man. I have clients from the 4th grade, and I have over 14 or 15 guys playing overseas.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of guys with my team that possibly will be in the NBA, whether it's 2-way contracts or whatnot. So I've been blessed to train all levels, right? So when I meet a player, or I decide to take a player, I want to know about them first, what their goals are. Because, and then you have to be realistic with them, and we have to come down and sit down and come up with, to make sure it fits that person.
A plan for you.
Yeah, a plan for that person. So a lot of times, man, people have goals, but once you tell me your goal, now we're going to write down a system.
Yeah.
See, people just think it's goal. You have to have a system to reach that goal and the best position for you to get to that goal.
Absolutely.
It's extremely important.
Yeah.
So once we sit down, we get the trust factor, then we go and break down this is what you need to work on. Yeah. I ask the person first. I always ask them, what do you need to work on?
Yeah.
And then we go from there, and then I give my input of what we need to work on. Then we put in a play to get that done.
Yeah.
So I've been successful, man. All my players, man, I'm blessed. I have players that even trying to make the team, or trying to get back overseas, or playing overseas, or just leaving college. But the best thing about this job, man, I got to tell you, is when you receive that text message from them, or depending on their age, their parents, that they achieved that goal.
Absolutely.
Man,
there's no better feeling.
Yeah, it's no better feeling, because every now and then we need to make sure what we're doing is correct too.
Right.
And for me, man, I always challenge myself. So every year, man, the last 6 years, I go to Final Four every year.
Yeah.
I go to some NBA Summer League. I get a chance to watch a lot of my NBA guys I team with to train.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly learning. I go to coaches meet that I'm always like a sponge. I'm constantly learning to get better. I never get complacent, because the game has changed since when I play. About every 10 years the game changes, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right. So
I agree.
Yeah. So
now talk to me about this. The game does change. Of course, the social media aspect of the game has changed, and that didn't take 10 years.
No,
it took like 3.
Correct. Correct.
But the system of the game has not.
Right.
I say this all the time, is just because what we see on social media has changed, what it takes to make it has not.
Correct. That's very true.
The business of the game has not changed. The business of the game hasn't changed since the days of, the Wilt Chamberlains and the Michael Jordans and all of that. Right. The framework of what it takes is still the same.
Correct.
Talk to that player that wants to be, pro, or they want to go overseas, they want to head to the league. Like, what it takes to make it is still the same. What does it take to make? What did it take you for you to make it, and what are you passing down as knowledge to the next generation for them to make it?
Well, first, like I said, we spoke about earlier. The mental part is such a key that's left out, and for the generation of kids that's now,
right?
I give you a really quick example.
Yeah.
My 7th grade year, I was cut. I tried out for the middle school basketball team. I didn't make it. Now you have a list that you go see who made the team.
Right.
I wasn't on that list. You do the same processes now, right?
Yeah.
They put a list of who makes the team.
Absolutely.
The only difference is that cell phone you have, they're going to circle their name that they made the team. So now everybody who follows that guy or that girl knows your name wasn't on that list. So the exposure now is so much deeper for, I'm not going to say your failures, but, just at that moment.
Absolutely.
And that can be very difficult for a young kid. I was devastated, and it was just the people in my little group. I couldn't imagine if it was.
If it was on a story on Instagram.
There you go.
Yeah.
So saying that mental side for it and having them prepare for that.
Yeah.
And then, just now we're going to the physical part of these are the challenges you might face.
Yeah.
So my job is just to put you in the best situation.
For sure.
For when those challenges do come, because they're coming no matter who you are.
No matter who.
How you handle them, how you come out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Man, my phone is text messages, Cash App,
right,
all day long. You
right.
know what I mean? For especially my guys that's in college. You remember how that was. So
absolutely. He's gonna hit you, man. I ain't got no food. No, that's real.
Right.
That's the real. And I think, some people, and I do think that it's half and half. I do think that there's people that are in this in order to create wealth for themselves.
Correct.
Point blank, period. They have no interest in, changing the narrative, changing the next generation. They have no interest in influence. Exactly. They have only one interest, and that's in making money.
Correct.
But you got some of us, and I mean, you do get that call. You get that call, and they go, "Yo, I ain't got no money. I need money for lunch."
You're right.
And you're not. If you're anything like me, I'm not just going to send you something to go get a $5 meal at McDonald's. Exactly. I'm gonna make sure you can get something today, tomorrow, and the next day.
Exactly.
So this is the part that, and most times, it's not like he paid over the summer. It's a college kid.
Exactly.
He don't got no money.
You don't have any money.
That's in season and out of season.
Huh? Right.
So it's like you're coming out of, you're going into a certain place in order to, you're now funding another kid's vision.
Exactly. It's exactly what you're doing.
Wherever that kid goes, he will always come back and say thank you. Not just for training me.
Exactly.
But being a part of my village.
Absolutely.
How is that feeling going from, I'm the guy, I was able to do this, I was able to do that, this is my career. What's that feeling like going from there to, man, I'm helping others become that guy?
Man, being a guy is always a great feeling. But
absolutely.
Like I told you, giving back in this way, in a service that you know that you can help somebody. And again, like I said, you receive that phone call or that text message. It's really unexplainable, man. You're doing something to truly help. And
yeah.
If you're in this, and I think that's my personal, it goes along with just like with me, if I'm available and I have a spot for any kid, 5-star, 1-star, 0-star, it doesn't matter. If you want to play, right, if you want to play the game and I have time to have a slot, I will take you.
Yeah.
And it goes what you were talking about before. I think with social media, I understand, why certain people have to do that, and it's no knock, but a lot of those kids are rejected because they're not ranked or whatever it might be. So they're already facing so much adversity coming up. So I just try to have a open arms and to let them know, use that for motivation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Use it for motivation.
Absolutely.
So,
something in your childhood or something, during your process that you pull with you are just, some things that you were taught or that you learned that you pull with you that keeps you relevant to some of the younger guys that you're working with now?
Well, like I alluded to earlier, I spoke about me actually being cut, right?
Yeah.
In 7th grade.
Yeah.
Again, I was devastated, of course, but it's what I did afterward. I started playing, with the older guys in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I was getting killed, I'm not gonna lie.
For sure.
It was giving me work, which I was supposed to. But I remember, one of the guys came over to me and said, you come out here every day. And, a lot of times I have to wait because I'm the last one to get picked because I'm the
every time.
You know what I mean?
You got this on team.
I have to get my own team. And they really don't pass me the ball.
Right. It'd be their team. You just be on it.
Right. So I started just really playing hard and rebounding. I'll never forget. And they started picking me, and I started staying on the floor to win.
Yeah.
But when I played with the kids my age, I started to see the dominance that I was doing and the mentality. You know what I mean? Because for me, I was like, I'm normally the guy that's in the background. I should say a role player. And all of a sudden, it becomes, when I play with guys my age, I'm the man.
I'm the guy.
You know what I mean? I'm the guy. So I think that gave me a mental edge. Well, I know it did. So how I try to relate to the kids now is that same thing. Again, like I talked about, everybody can't be right. Everybody can't be, even though you're the guy at your school. Right. But nowadays, everybody wants to be ranked. Everybody wants to play for the top 8 team. Everybody wants to go to the big colleges. And there's nothing wrong with that. That should be your goal. But you look at the number 2 pick, like John Moran, kind of changed everything.
Yeah.
Goes to a mid-major.
State.
Yeah, Murray State, and look at everything changed.
Yeah.
So for me, I just feel if you're doing the right process, you keep your goal.
Yeah.
I mean, the underdogs that come to the top, everybody roots for the underdog. It's a better story.
It's always a better story.
It's a better story.
It's always a better story.
I mean, it is.
If you were to pick who you were based off your story, underdog, are you David or are you Goliath? Which one are you? No slings or nothing. Just.
I think everybody was David, man. So I'm definitely David, man. No doubt. So,
you turn an idea into a concept. You turn a concept into a brand. Talk about the foundation, the beginning of 360. How'd you come up with it? What does it mean? Literally 360 basketball. Right. What is that to you?
Well, to me, of course, 360 is a circle, right? Most people hit 360, that's the change or turnaround you made. But when I actually thought about it, man, I was trying to put my vision together. Mine was your world, your circle. What is it that I can do to help you get to your goal?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the best route, whether it's what school or whether it's what training you need. Should I train this year, depending on what grade you are, instead of playing? Should my training be more than playing, or how can I get a balance? And even what we talked about earlier with school, I'm blessed to have a few mentors and teachers in place that will help with SAT, ACT scores. It helped them to get over that hump that I couldn't get over. Yeah. So when you're talking about 360, it was just a total package, like everything was what I was trying to be able to give to that player.
For sure.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Man, first of all, that's different.
Right.
But I think in order to do things like this, you have to be different. You got to think different, and you got to be outside the box. Now, that's for longevity. I'm not saying just to, a lot of people are doing this, as we've already said. Right. But in order for you to be that different mark, that different brand, that person that, is still standing after 25 years with a brand.
Exactly.
I think there's a little bit of difference that goes into that.
Absolutely. You have to. Like you said, to stay relevant, man. And again, when the player knows that you have their best interest, and again, like you talked about, when the training is over,
absolutely,
when they're going forward, or whether they decide to come back and train with you, man, you still send a text, man, you still check on them to make sure, hey, I see what you're doing good. Is there any way I can help? Yeah, that's when it's become bigger than basketball.
Absolutely.
So I hope with my players, man, even when they're done playing, I hope my vision is later for to still be able to get them a job or opportunity, whatever field, whether it's coaching, whatever they would like to do. So that's the long term. Yeah. So
absolutely.
And with me, with my college coach, a couple of my friends too, they were able to go to colleges that after when they graduated.
Yeah.
They was able to put them in a good place for intern for their business going in. So, because at the end of the game, like we talked about, the sports is a short part of your life, man. Absolutely. It's not that long. I mean, you know, LeBron James was blessed. I've got a few players who seem blessed to play that long. I mean, that's special. But even that, when you think about it, it's still not but a certain part of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So after that, you know, God's willing, you have a lot more to live. Yeah. So you have to figure out, like, you know, like we said, what are you going to do now? How are you going to get back?
Absolutely.
What is your passion?
What's next?
Yeah, what's next?
So, I mean, you're talking about what's next. That's a perfect segue into what's going on here is what is next for you? What's next for 360? What's on the menu? What are we eating up next?
Well, I'm excited, man. You know, I told you the last 5 or 6 years I've been able to go to the Final Four. This year I'll be hosting my own where Coach should come out.
Wait. Hold on. Final Four. Yeah. You've been attending.
Yes.
And this year you're hosting what?
I'm hosting my own event. So I'm excited.
My goodness.
Yeah, very, very excited. So a time, you know, a lot of my friends coach college basketball on all levels. Yeah. So for them to be able to come out to my event, because, you know, Final Four is here in Atlanta. So
shout out to that.
Oh, man. It's
I think Atlanta is going to be on crack.
Oh, man, it's going to be.
That whole space of time. It's going to be crazy.
I can't wait. You
know I can't. That's media galore. You know, I'm a content gobbler.
Absolutely. You know? Absolutely. So to be able, you know, to have that event and in my city, of course, and to be able to, the most important thing, network with my players.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? To help them, and at the end of the day, the more you know, the more people you know, the more you can help.
Yeah.
So, and then this year also, of course, going back to Summer League, have a lot of other really, really big things.
Oh, you're not going to hold out, are you?
Listen, you can't tell everything.
Oh, my God.
Manifest, but I'm just going to say expecting 2 or 3 guys, man, to be drafted this year.
Major. So we green room? Is upwardNOW green room this year?
I'm gonna say one of my guys will be there. I'm just gonna say one of my guys that's on my team that I connect with definitely will be, man. So,
wow.
Yeah, and you know, the international aspect is always adore.
Well, congratulations to you. Congratulations to the family of the young man and the young man himself and everybody else that's on the team. Absolutely. Congratulations to the brand. I think there's a lot of brands in this city that are like under the radar. Nobody really knows about them, but they're actually putting in real work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is not a knock against anybody. I think everybody's working, but I think that there are brands that are not really recognized. However, are pushing forwards by leaps and bounds. And so I'm just glad to have been able to tell this story today. I appreciate you one more time. My God. Huh? Listen, and right now. Listen.
Right now, man. I appreciate you having me.
Man, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
And once again, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been your 3rd installment of Conversations with the Politician. I am the politician. Thank you for tuning in. Can't wait to catch you again.